Hey, hey. Happy Friday, everyone. Hi, Jeannie. We're doing this one from the lounge chair. This chica is tired. Very tired. Oh, Laura, you don't have a local yarn store? Aw, darn it. At least with this one, y'all can see behind me and see all my yarn. We don't usually see my yarn on Friday night. Well, not behind me anyway. Welcome to Friday night. This is a Stitch in Crime. Tonight we are starting our new book, which is Tom Brown's Body. Yes, I cut my hair. I don't have enough gel on. I need some more spike. I need some spike, and I don't have it. It's driving me crazy. Hello, Patty. Welcome in. Glad you're here. How are you? How are you? How is everybody tonight? What are y'all doing? What you working on? Are you knitting or crocheting or diamond painting or doing cross stitching or just twiddling your thumbs? Hi, Gracie. Oh, I am in my Texas cup. Isn't there some way I can turn this to where it's not mirrored? Isn't there a button for that? I meant to look for that. Let's see. No, that is not what I wanted. Go away. No green screen. I was thinking there was a way to mirror it. Chat filter. I want all messages. Still crocheting blankets. Nothing wrong with blankets. Hi, Mandy Moo. Hey, Tank. Oh, hey, Angela. Yeah, I thought there was a way to turn the screen so that it's not backwards, because it looks backwards to me. Y'all know what backwards is, right? So let me just go up and down the line. I'm not in StreamYard or Restream or anything. But Laura Knit for Brains is here. Crochet Loving Leanie is here. Jeannie T Knit and Crochet is here. Patty Myers. Gracie K is here. Mandy Moo does crochet too. Angela Branham. And I Love to Crochet Tank. Tamra J, hey, you made it. Hey, you're here and it's live. It's live, just so you know. Oh my goodness. Finishing a plastic canvas. Ooh, that's something I have never done. I've been wanting to order plastic canvas kits from Mary Maxim. I'm gonna do it one of those days. You wearing your, this is my, yeah, this is the dogs are my favorite people. Twinsies. I love this. This is my comfy lounge set that I wear that I got from Walmart. It's the Joy Spun, and they feel like butter. Y'all remember the Maxine comic? And one of her requirements when she would get clothes, excuse me, was, can you sleep in it? Tammy, I know. Don't feel stupid. You're not stupid. It should have been. You looked at it and you said, okay, we're live. Oh, I got to get in there. Thank you for doing that. And it's okay. Hey, Artie. I always say it wrong. No matter what I do, I always say it wrong. Oh, Izzy, I'm so sad that you're in the hospital. I hope you get better quick. They need to do something to help you. I hope that gets better. Tell them to FaceTime you. Do some FaceTiming, Izzy. That's all I can tell you. Do some FaceTiming. It'll be good for you. Well, you're in the right place then, and we'll be thinking about you, okay? Okay, I've got my blanket here to work on while we talk. And I know we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff and not just our book. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the gray and do the half double crochets. I was going to do some more of the moss stitch, but y'all, I'm tired. This chica is just plain tired. It's been a week, and we may have more weeks coming. So I'm trying to rest tonight, and then tomorrow I go to Walmart with Dad, and then he has surgery next Wednesday. Now, I'm not going to say much because he hasn't said anything to his family or anything like that, so I don't want this his to talk about and not mine, okay? So don't ask me what's going on because, well, I'm just not going to tell you. But it's okay. Oh, man. Well, have you heard of the patient advocate at the hospital? That's what you need. You need to ask for the patient advocate. Okay? That's my best advice for you. Ask for the patient advocate because they are supposed to be on your side, not anybody else's side. They don't listen to anybody but you, and they gather all the information they can. Okay? So, try to get a hold of the patient advocate. Ask for them. They have to send them to you. They have to come visit you if you ask for them. Okay, now I am here. Oh, let me show you. This is our Scrap and Crime blanket. And we were doing the moss stitch, so this was the last stitch we did right here. Single crochet, chain one, single crochet, and come back and you single crochet in the chain ones. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Granny. Cast iron skillet Granny. How are you? Mimi loves to crochet. I can't punch and bring your names up. That's why I'm saying them. Okay, let's start with Lori Vallow. Y'all, we're almost done with this one. We're so close, right? We're so close. Hi, Tina. How are you, Tina? I'm so glad you came in. Just got back from grandson's Air Force graduation. Whoop, whoop, whoop. How nice. Oh, how nice. That's a wonderful celebration. How wonderful, Granny. Hi, Kathy. That's amazing. Yeah, you tell him thank you from us, okay? Aw, thank you, Tina. Well, I thought you might be mad at me, but anyway. Today, oh goodness. Well, we're gonna have some storms, so you tell him to keep his head on a swivel, okay? Because we got storms coming tonight. And I don't know if those storms will get down to me, but Ryan seems to think they're gonna be in Wichita Falls. Hi, Maureen. You're going to bed? Okay. Good night and sleep well. So very glad you came by and said hello. I'm still working on your package. I haven't quite got, I'll let you know when I get everything together. A shawl design. Me too. Your kitty Ollie is laying on it. You're going to get some on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, that we're expecting storms tonight, but we shall see because we don't really know whether it's going to get down to us or not, but it could get as far south as Wichita Falls. So just saying, everybody keep their head on a swivel. Hi, Bubby. Serbs is on the bone. I'm hoping we get some more rain. Everything is just so green, 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 and it's beautiful. Spring is the most beautiful time here. Ah, I don't really know. Mimi, I think they just pop up. These are this time of year we get what they call popcorn storms. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where you are, where Granny is, all along that line where a line forms and then those storms just pop up, and we call them popcorn storms because we never know where, and usually it feels like they start right over your head. Tina's in Canada. She's got some snow. Oh my goodness. So working on that. I was just too tired to go sit over there at my desk. I got stuff all over my desk. I got stuff to show y'all tomorrow. Well, that's good, Connie. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're better. Mr. Fiber is still, his cough comes in and out, in and out. But he's been able to go a couple days now again without any cough drops. So we're sure hoping that that's not going to come back. Okay, Lori Vallow, her trial for killing her husband, was it number 4? Charles Vallow. That has been going on, and can you believe that was only 7 days? They tried that case in 7 days. And Lori has been hinting and hinting whether she was going to testify. She had witnesses that she had put on a list, but she didn't get everybody. She kept saying that they were going to be subpoenaed. Nobody got their subpoenas. She's just been drawing it out for 7 days, getting to play, at being a lawyer. That's really all it is in my. Yeah, I can't get him to go. We'll see what happens. She's made absolutely no valid points. Does she sound a little bit like a lawyer? Yeah, maybe. I guess if you didn't really know the system all that well, you know. She wants to go back to Idaho where Chad is. Yes, she does. That's right. Yep. Since she's in the worst jail, what is it? The worst jail in the country or something like that, right? She's certainly sat in enough trials already because she's been charged with all of those. Exactly. Exactly. It's just crazy. I haven't seen any valid points. You know, there's nothing that she has said or done or someone in Nate Eaton from East Idaho News, something in his chat the other day was that Lori doesn't need to testify. She's been testifying all the way throughout because they've been trying to tell her, don't testify. You can't say that. That's testifying. And she's been doing it for 7 days. So she's already testified. Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, but I played one on TV. Exactly. I like that. That's funny. That's funny. It's perfect. Well, it would be served there in Idaho, Leni, if she is found guilty in Arizona, she would serve it in Arizona. But she has to serve her Idaho sentence first. Okay? So what will happen is, yes, a complete waste of taxpayers' money. However, most everyone is seeing this as a backup. If she were, for some really stupid reason, to get a, you know, some sort of a judgment on the Idaho stuff, although I just can't see that happening. But if she were to win an appeal in Idaho, then she would have to go to Arizona and serve that one. So it's like insurance to keep her in jail. I saw the Menendez thing came up today. I have not watched that. There was a video I was going to watch on that one. They postponed that, right? Didn't they postpone the Menendez thing? They were going to have a ruling on that or a hearing or something, and they postponed it. That was something I was going to talk about tonight. Okay. Yeah. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It is what it is. Oh, it's raining. If I lose y'all, it's because we got storms. But I don't hear a storm. I just hear a little bit of rain and I see wind out my window. So hopefully we'll be fine. Hi, Sharon. Sharon Creates is here. Y'all, we absolutely love all your blankets that you've been posting. Thank you so much for sharing them. I showed them the other day. If you missed it, I showed them on my Sunday in the She Shed, okay? Just so you know, Sharon. And also, I have a bunch of scraps and stuff to send you, and I'm getting that package ready. I have 7 packages right now, all packed and ready to go. I didn't even think about Good Friday, so there was no way I could mail anything today if I wanted to. So all of my packages are going to go out next week. I will get them ready, and then I will have them I'll have them picked up is what I'll do. I'll just schedule a pickup. But I have to weigh everything and get them all listed so that they know how many packages there are and how much the weight is and all of that. So, but yes, I have some scraps and some other things I'm sending you, Sharon. But that package is not ready yet. Still working on that one. I'm still working on Maureen's, and I'm still working on Chelsea's. I have one for Chelsea. I'm still working. I keep adding things to Chelsea's. Hi, Suzanne. So glad you're here. Suzanne is hooked. Now, if any of you have a channel and you have content and you would like to share that, you could put the word teal, T-E-A-L, and Nightbot will drop your channel for you. You do not have to put anything in front of it, just put the word teal. I always forget, and all of a sudden I remembered tonight. Tomorrow for you, right, Laura? You guys are doing yours tomorrow? 4 o'clock? I think. There we go. It's a working. So basically, Lori rested, but she did it in front of the judge and the prosecution team. You're going back to 7:30 Central tomorrow evening, and it's just Laura. Okay. All right. Well, send our love to Karen. Whatever's going on, send our love to Karen, okay? We don't have to know what it is that she can't be there, but we'll be thinking about her. I have packages, a small package, just a small package for you and for Karen that I'll be sending out. That's part of my stuff. Yeah, I've got seven packages, and then I have that box of magazines that's going to Mishi. So that's like, I think I have like 8 that will be going out. Another way to extend her time out of her new home. Yeah. So she waited, and then she said she was going to rest, but she said she might change her mind because she didn't rest in front of the jury. And they debated whether they would bring the jury in and let her rest. Hi, Deneen. Oh, from some scraps. That would be so nice of you, Tank. She makes so many things for the kids for those boxes. Lots of little blankets and things. Yep. Waiting on her answer to see if it's okay. Cracking my knuckles too. Y'all, I don't know if y'all ever noticed I crack my knuckles all the time. It's a constant with me. Been doing it since I was little. What'd you say? What'd you say, Bubby? So Monday, Lori will officially, hopefully, and I'm sure she will, she's just dragging it out, but she's going to officially rest in front of the jury, and then we will have closing arguments. Okay. Yes, Jill. That's yes, Jill. I got it. Okay, Sharon. Send me an email, Tank, so that I can send you hers. How we do that one. You did your duty, voted in advance in Canada for federal. Oh, you guys are having your federal? Wow. I'm not the only one who pops her fingers then. Okay. Then just email me and remind me, Tank. I have everybody's emails saved so that I can get their packages out to them and then let you all know that I did not put any cards or thank yous or anything like that in the packages because I wanted to get them ready to go, and there's just been too much going on. So we'll go with that. Oh, did you go somewhere today? She got sunburned, she says. So I guess if they do closing arguments on Monday, then hopefully there will be a verdict. What do you guys think? Any predictions on verdict and what time it'll be done? Any predictions? And then they're trying to schedule for, they're talking about the first week of June for the next, the Brandon Boudreaux trial. You got hot in Ohio today? Oh. Yeah, they have to deliberate. They have to make it look good anyway, don't they, Leanie? They can't not deliberate. They can't not deliberate. But everybody's saying it'll be done by Monday. Good riddance, right? Yep. But see, this judge is possibly not going to be there for the next one, I don't think. I was listening to Nate. Now, Nate will be on tonight, too, I think. I think he said he would be on tonight. Yeah, they got to make sure they don't have a mistrial. Exactly. If they, usually most juries that I've been hearing when the jurors come out is that they go in and they take a vote, see where everybody's at, see if anybody has any questions, and then they begin to debate, look at evidence, decide what they need to decide, and then go from there. That's the way most of them say whenever they come out of these things. Recently, I did find it a little bit interesting, some of the wording. I listened to the hearing yesterday, and they were talking about the instructions, and there were some instructions that they put in speaking about self-defense. Okay? And if the jury were to find self-defense at all, here are the rules that apply to it, and then they put the definitions in that apply to the rules. Well, you'll have to tell us someday what all that means, Mimi, because I don't have a clue what jobs. You know, I know there are jobs, but the girl needs to get her hands dirty for once in her life. Yep. Oh, good evening, Shad. I have earrings, but I have no necklace. Nope, we're doing it from the lounge chair today because I'm tired. I went to the chiropractor Monday, and what else did I do Monday? I was off Tuesday. In other words, I didn't have an appointment Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I had an appointment, and Dad had an appointment. And then yesterday, Dad had a second appointment and scheduled for surgery. And then today I had an appointment, which means I drove back to and back from Abilene 4 times this week. Yeah. Yeah, clean bathrooms. Yeah, something. He's getting there, Tina. He's stretching me out on the we're doing decompression, the traction. The hardest job at a prison is the fields, Mimi says. Hot and nasty, probably be held close not to get her axed by jelly inmates. Interesting. It is, because Abilene is 70 miles. So it's 70 miles there and 70 miles back. Hi, Bridget. It is a lot of driving. Right? Only 3 minutes from there? Yeah, I know. I tried the inversion thing, didn't work for me, but I know it has worked for some people. I know it has. Hello, Lavender. We had one, but I had trouble operating it. I had trouble, I had to have help to use it, and I did not like the feeling that it gave me in my head, all of the blood going to my head. So anyway. Hey, Liz. Okay, what else? I wanted to tell you guys, I finished the Tom Brown podcast. I also finished the book by Howard Bloom. And that book is, let me think of what it's called. Oh. When the Night Comes Calling, a Requiem for the Idaho 4 Murders. Okay? If you guys can, I would highly suggest getting the book. And if you can get the Audible, it is very good. It's done very well, the Audible is. And if not, and if you really just kind of want to know a little roundabout part of what that book is like, you can go over to Nate, because I didn't realize I asked him the other day, and he actually spoke to me, y'all. That was kind of cool. Hey, Marilyn, how are you tonight? Not Judy Bloom, Howard Bloom. And it's B-L-U-M. It's German. It's Joyman. My channel is mostly knit and crochet. It's mostly a fiber related, but I do a lot of different crafts, Lavender. And on Friday night, we talk about true crime. Yeah, Nate said hi to me. Well, I did send him a super chat, but you know. Yeah. And he said hi to me. He said, oh, that's a fun name. Yeah, it was kind of cool. He is such a sweetheart. Well, if you haven't subscribed, you should not be able to talk to me, because I should have this on subscriber only. Did I not do that, you guys? I'm too tired to get up and go mess with it. Just behave yourself, Lavender. If you don't, somebody will do something about it. Everybody here knows what my wishes are. Hi, Denise. Come on in. Good to see you. It's okay if I didn't. It's not the end of the world. But I would appreciate it. The thing right now, I will tell you the thing that is the most, the two things with YouTube right now, okay? And well, thank you, Lavender. I appreciate that. Two things. Subscribe is good, and thumbs are good. The most important things you can do is to comment, leave comments in the live chat, leave comments on the videos, and to watch the videos. Those two things help me more than anything else. It's the views and the interaction. Those two things are what really, really helps. The more views I have, the more I'm put out there into the algorithm. So it goes like that. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you're better soon. We don't do politics here. We don't do religion here. We just leave that stuff alone. I was a hairdresser for many, many years. And yeah, even smiley faces, even that, any kind of interaction on it at all. To be honest with you, the likes don't really do as much as they used to. They've kind of taken that out of the algorithm as any kind of an indicator. They're just really, I appreciate them because it makes me know that you guys are there and you're like, okay, I'm watching and I'm letting you know I'm here. That's what that does. That tells me more than it tells them, if that makes sense. Well, thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. That's what I do for a lot of people. Ouch. Hi, Nifty. Good to see you. How's your Friday going? So, the Howard Bloom interview that Nate did is really good. He does talk about the book and talks about what he thinks happened. And so if you guys can go over and watch his interview with Nate, you might get a good idea what the book is about, but I would highly recommend reading that book if you can. And then if you guys want to talk about it, we can. I was really fascinated. He talks, oh, thank you, Mimi. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. Yeah, we were, but I went ahead. I didn't do very many rows of mine, and now I'm just doing half double crochets in my gray color. It's my clarifier. I haven't picked one for next week yet. We'll pick it next week. Y'all can still do whatever you want, but I'm doing half double crochets right now. Kathy, 14 months. Thank you. Oh, you must be over in the UK. Are you in Australia maybe? Yeah, it's looking good. I love the scrap. This is the Scrap and Crime Blanket 25. That is exactly right, Sharon. Lots more that will come out in court. Absolutely. It always is. Always is. It's your first time to see my scrap blanket? Oh man, I love them. I love them so much. Okay, Denise, thank you very much for watching my videos. As much as you guys can watch them, it helps me. It really does, and I really appreciate that. The views is what is what works. Like I said, the views and the interaction. There's something comforting about a scrappy blanket. Okay, now what else were we going to talk about? Karen Reed, I know that one starts Australia. I was going to say Australia. hopefully going to get my new chair next week, and I'm really ready, and so is the chiropractor. Yeah, see, I have not followed the Karen Reed thing. Only the little bits and bobs that have been in the news kind of stuff. That's all that I have done. I don't really know the case all that well, so yeah. I can't really talk about it much, but I know that they start Tuesday. That's the word anyway. And this will be her second trial. Always want to go to Australia someday. I think I just feel like she's guilty, you know? That's what I feel like. And I don't have any really good, but boy is she fighting it. And she's done a damn good job of fighting it too. Oh, stop it. Things don't do what you want them to do. Okay, here are some images. I'm going to show you some images of Thomas Brown. This is Thomas Brown from Canadian, Texas. And there he is with his mom, Penny, over here. This is Tom, and this is his mom, Penny. I did not put the link in. If somebody could find the link for me for the podcast here on YouTube, and it's called Tom Brown's Body, I would appreciate that. Yeah, I know. And the tarantulas. That too, Tina. Well, here we do books along with the story. So the crime story, and if there's a book that correlates with the crime story, we talk about both of them. Hi, Jackie. And see if I can find. Hang on. Tried to find the article. Thank you, Tank. There it is, Tom Brown's Body, and that's on YouTube. Totally free to go over. Yes, there's always been a little bit of that maybe it was a serial killer. Yes, it has. Nothing proven. Now, this is an article from November of last year. 8 years after the disappearance of Canadian teenager Tom Brown during Thanksgiving week of 2016. That's when it happened. And his remains were released from state custody, but family members, including Brown's mother, have filed a lawsuit to perform more forensic testing on his remains before burial. The lawsuit was filed in Potter County by Penny Meek and stepfather Chris Meek and brother Tucker Brown against Brown's father Kelly Brown and a local funeral home. Hi, Sherry. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Court documents detail that Brown's mother, stepfather, and brother have asked the court for the right to have hired a private investigator, video record a forensic examination, and DNA test of Brown's remains before they are buried. 18-year-old Tom Brown went missing the night before Thanksgiving in 2016. His skeletal remains were found near Lake Marvin in early 2019, 19 miles east of Canadian, and were taken into investigative custody. The Texas Attorney General's office released its overview of the case and evidence in 2021 that stated its findings from forensic investigation of his remains did not support a cause or manner of death. Now, remember, the reason I wanted to talk about this is that I met the forensic pathologist who helped to do the new DNA and examination of the remains, and he said there was a shot to that Tom Brown's body he was shot in the head, so he died by gunshot wound to the head. So we now know that. So that must have happened after this article. A .25 caliber casing and trace amounts of his blood were found in his car, and a search from the night of his disappearance on his phone, the night of his disappearance, there was a search on his phone for a suicide hotline. There were physical evidence items that belonged to Brown that were found in various places miles away from his car. So they hired a private investigator named Klein Investigations and Consulting, who started looking into it. And you guys, if you listen to that, let me tell you, there were so many things that came up. Drugs, the mafia, the sheriff. There was, at one point, there was some kid that was in jail, that had been put in jail, that used to be on the football team, said that he and the sheriff and the sheriff's deputy went out on a remote road, and he did all this from jail, talking about this from jail, that they took him out and they sat him in the car, and the sheriff's deputy held a gun to Tom's head while he was tied to a chair in the middle of a road. Hi, Frozen. I mean, that one is a bit outlandish. I mean, there are so many stories surrounding this case. So many. Now, the reason they had to sue the father was because the father but there really was I don't really think there's any definite evidence that the sheriff did anything. I just don't think there was. Hi, Sue. Good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. Glad you're here. But the father did not want the testing done. Okay, so there's that article. Now, let's talk about what happened, okay? And again, you'll have to go and listen. to get all of the ins and outs because they do a really great job on that podcast. Now, this article is from 2021 on the 5th anniversary of his disappearance. So he came in as a disappearance. Okay? On November 23rd, 2016, Tom Brown disappeared. Since then, evidence such as his car, phone, and his remains have been examined by law enforcement. But Penny, Brown's mother, points to a few places where she believes the investigation was botched. There was a photo or video footage that went missing. The former sheriff admitted to throwing away video from Dollar General, which is next to the gas station where he got gas. The justice of the peace was also not called when Brown's body was discovered. She said Brown's case was scheduled to be heard by investigative grand jury in July, but that never happened. It was more of a fact-finding grand jury when everyone was called in and under oath was supposed to ask questions, which I feel would have moved the case along, she said. Maybe indictments wouldn't have been made at the grand jury, but I think eventually we would have gotten there. So, and you will hear about that. You will hear about that in the podcast. There is an interview done with someone that talks about that, and they did not have enough because if they took it to the grand jury and there wasn't enough, they couldn't do it again. So they didn't want to do something where they wouldn't have enough stuff to get an indictment of any kind. For a while, his mother did not know where his remains were. They wouldn't tell her who had custody of them, where they were being stored. Okay. And I'm looking at all the articles that I had pulled, okay, you guys? Oh, these are all images. I do have some videos here, but I don't know that I can play them because they're going to be... Here's a video from when they found his remains. Hold on. From News Channel 10. Nope. I thought that was a video. Not a video. Oh, it is a video. Hang on, let's see if this is loud enough for you guys. Now, this is the private investigator talking.
Rev up your engines and bring the whole family to the Baxter Current Activity Center's fundraiser on April 19th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's a free event packed with classic cars, motorcycles, vendor pavilions.
Hush, goodness. Hey, Dolores. How are you? Y'all, Dolores is going to stay with Dad. I'm so glad to see you. We are so happy you're going to be staying. Everybody say hi to Dolores. She takes care of Dad. Oh, I'm so glad you came by.
Thomas Brown's remains today.
News Channel 10's Cassie Stafford spoke with Philip Klein today and
Can y'all
has
hear
more
it?
on why investigators say he was just now discovered.
Klein says on January 9th, a man was walking down a path near Lake Marvin Road when he noticed something and called it in immediately. The Texas Attorney General's office and the Texas Rangers responded and later confirmed through forensic testing it was the missing Canadian teen. During a huge search last year, Klein says they had roughly 18 miles to cover, plus an acre on either side of the road, which he calls Phase 1. He says the area Thomas was found wasn't missed, but had not yet been searched.
That area had been flown by helicopters. That area had been, the south part of that area had been run by our guys, Trace, Sergeant, and her dog. They had run to the south side of that area, but we had not gotten to the north side yet. So, it wasn't a matter of missing by law enforcement or us at all. It was just a matter of that was an area that hadn't been searched.
Klein wouldn't comment on the condition of the remains found. However, he says there's no doubt this is an active homicide investigation.
Homicide investigation. It's a full-fledged homicide investigation. No matter how you look at it, it's a homicide investigation. What will happen now is that the OAG and the Texas Rangers will continue their investigation and continue to interview people and build evidence. I can't talk about the evidence out there, so please don't ask. I mean, I'm just telling you, don't. We, on our side, if we are re-engaged, we will start a homicide investigation on this side. The first thing that we do that we know they are doing is going back over all the old information.
Klein applauded the Attorney General's office and the Texas Rangers and is confident they will be able to get to the bottom of this. I'll bring you more from his interview tonight.
Well, I'm glad that I could play that for you guys. That is awesome. I'm so glad you came in, Dolores. That is so nice. I'm going with Dad tomorrow to Walmart. I know, Canadian teen, yes. So that gives you all a little bit of background for this case, but I would, like I said, I would really encourage you to go listen to the podcast. But now you got to get when you go listen, then you'll get, because there's no video, it's just a picture and then you hear the audio. So now you have a little bit of video for you to reference, and a picture of Thomas and all of that. Basically what happened, the case we're talking about tonight, Dolores, is the one of Thomas Brown. And he was from Canadian, Texas, out by Amarillo. And November 23rd, 2016, he went missing. So that was the night of Thanksgiving, he went missing. And Dolores likes true crime stuff too, y'all. Hi, Sally. So he had gone out with his friends. He had a couple of friends, a girlfriend, but not a girlfriend, although they had, I think they had dated, but they weren't dating at the time. And then a boy that was a friend of his that was on the football team with him. Thomas had stopped the football team. He had quit the football team. He had broken up with his girlfriend for a long time. He was trying to decide whether he was going to go to school or whether he was going to go somewhere else and do work or something. He was kind of undecided of what he was going to do. So every hospital has an advocate. They need to find you one. Yes, she's been trying to crochet. She's been trying. She can. She just hasn't done it for a while. She's been too busy with other things like dad and her mom and other things. And it was like late at night, and he dropped everybody off. They were in his vehicle, his truck, and he dropped everybody off. He went back home for a little while because they have cell phone data, and they have, I don't know if they have cell phone data, but they have video, because he went to that gas station that was talked about in the article. He went there and he got gas and some snacks or something. Anyway, then they have video of his pickup being parked out at the water tower, or water, like the water station, you know, outside of town. But they don't have him getting out of the vehicle, and they have nothing else of him after that. And then his backpack was found before his remains were, and they were found leaning under a tree down on a road where his remains were found, but his remains were found years later, and they were found much farther down the road from where his backpack was found. He had a little bit of, he was somewhere on the spectrum. Okay? Somewhere on the spectrum. And the thing that a lot of people got hung up on with Thomas was that he was doing something that now, these days, people that were on the spectrum do things called stemming. And I'm sure you've heard Nisi from Freehandly Made Crochet talk about this. And there's a lot of different types of stemming. And one of those that he was doing, I'll get to the cell phone in a minute, Marilyn. I misspoke on that because his cell phone was found during a search. But there's one of the ways is a fetish type, that they called it a fetish, but because he was on the spectrum, it's not really a fetish, it was stemming, where he wore adult diapers. Now, I did not know that was a part of that. Well, they went a long ways with this one, and even the investigators did too. Hey, Chels, Dolores is here. Say hi to Dolores and tell her thank you for Papa. A little frog followed the boys in from outside, and you released it after a lot of squeals. Oh, good gosh. Hi, Carol. Dolores, this is my daughter, Chels. Crafter Chels is my oldest. I gotta go get my medicine. Oh my gosh, a frog. I will bet you Solomon thought it was the one that he found. Hi, Frozen, if I didn't say hi. So the cell phone, they were doing another search, the search that Klein, the investigator, was talking about. On that search where they had the dogs out there and all of that, they found Thomas's phone there, and it was on that road, okay? And it was pristine. This is years later. So local law enforcement and FBI, all of that stuff, that the whole team that was trying to investigate this, see, they didn't want Klein in there. They didn't want the private investigator in there. They didn't want to work with him, and they didn't want to do all that stuff. And he was hired by the family. They were paying for him to help them because they didn't think everybody was doing enough. It's a pretty common scenario, really. I know, Bubby. Is it time? Is it time? Okay, hold on. Let Mama plug her phone in so it doesn't go dead on us. Hold on. Let me plug y'all in. Give me a sec. There. Charging. Okay, good. All right, y'all. Hang tight. He's right here going. Wait, hold on. Wonder if y'all can see him. Are you ready? You ready, Bubby? Is it time? Is it time? Okay, okay. We'll be right back. Y'all hang tight. Okay, come on. Where's your green toy? Okay, I'm back. Oh! Hi, Chuck. Log Cool Woman is Chuck. Okay, what did I miss, Marilyn? Were you asking what that meant? I don't totally understand. Hi, Annie. How are you? I don't totally understand stimming, but it is a part of the autism spectrum. Oh, no, calcium pills are huge. Yeah, evidently wearing adult diapers can be a part of stimming. Self-soothing. Thank you. That's another way of saying it. Stimming is like self-soothing. Thank you, Annie. That is it right there. And I'm sure there's an awful lot of those out there. And I guess can be different things for different people. Cool. Cool. Thank you for telling us that. I don't have a good way of explaining it because I don't quite understand it all. Now, I do know, and so law enforcement thought that they saw that and they thought, okay, then there was all this stuff that went off where it was some sort of sexual thing. And then it went off to where they were convinced, they really were convinced that he killed himself, and that his parents covered it up, that his parents were so embarrassed that he had this diaper thing and that he killed himself, that they didn't want his reputation marred and all of that kind of thing. They didn't want anybody to know that about him. They wanted a nice, clean, right where he left off. And that because they wanted that they covered the whole thing up. That's what the local law enforcement wanted to believe. The Sebastian Rogers, and he with autism and diapers was a part of that case too. Yes. And it's also a part of the case with Lori Vallow's case, because JJ wore diapers also when he was around 10, I think about 10 years old, something like that. Oh my goodness. Marilyn, does he like the smell of the wood? Or does he like playing with the wood? Hey, Panda. Panda, I found 2 of your fans today. You are never going to believe this. I have to tell you that. I was at the local yarn store, Abilene Yarn Co., and they knew who you were. 2 girls came in. They didn't know who Michael was, but they knew your channel. Can you believe that? You have fans in Abilene, Texas. Hi, Lynette. Okay, I don't know what... I'm going to go ahead and show that. I don't know what YouTube will think of that. I think that's why. Can you believe you're famous? You are so welcome. Now you can go tell Michael they didn't know who you were, but they knew who I was. Oh, he carries Mardi Gras beads. So he feels the beads. It's a tactile thing, isn't it? That's why I was thinking with the wood, it was probably a tactile thing. Okay. Also tell him that we're going to have local yarn store day next Saturday. And she's wanting to talk to somebody who does Tunisian. Now, I don't know if you guys will want to come out of the yarn hole and come to Abilene and talk Tunisian at your local yarn store day. But if you do, tell me, because I will be there. I got big old hugs for both y'all. Just saying. Yeah, like worry beads, huh? Yeah. Jonathan from the Blue U was letting know about local yarn store day. Yes. Okay. I got some of my cords from the Blue U. I'm definitely going. I helped her today. She asked me, some ideas for local yarn store day, and she was telling me some of the things that she was doing, and I gave her some of my ideas. So I had some fun. I didn't stay very long today because I'm just so damn tired. So local yarn store day is April 26th, which is next Saturday. Next Saturday is Local Yarn Store Day, April 26th. Yeah, he has to have gentle hugs and gentle pinches. Yep. Closest to you, Granny, probably is somewhere in like the Metroplex area, I would imagine. And they usually have some sort of specials going. Who knows? And I asked her today because she only has one yarn dyer for hand-dyed yarn, but she's getting another one. So I'm so excited. I don't know if she'll have it by next Saturday, but I'm so excited that she's getting it. But I'm going to see if maybe I can do a live from there one of these days. That's kind of what I'm hoping, is to do a live from the yarn store. So that is a little more information about the Tom Brown case. It's very, honestly, they have not, no one has been prosecuted for his death. Law enforcement still believes it was suicide. But if it was suicide, they didn't find a gun. He was shot in the head, but they didn't find a gun. They found his backpack, but it wasn't with him. Okay, good night, Tank. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I'm going to go here pretty soon because I just... Ugh. Wouldn't that be fun, Marilyn? You're going to be near Abilene? Are you saying you're going to be near Abilene, Granny? You need to tell me if you're going to be around on Saturday. Send me an email if that... Oh, in Austin. Okay, so you'll be in the Austin area. Gotcha. I didn't see that until just now. Yeah, Sherry, a gun on wheels, I guess. No, none of his stuff was where his body was just his body and his clothes. All of his clothes and everything were right there. For a while, they pestered his friends. And y'all, the girl that he was with that night, his last night, is one of the people who grew up, went to school, because they were so close to graduating. That was the year they were graduating. She went off and she went into forensics. Oh, you're so close to me. If you ever want to meet up, let me know. Just let me know. It was good to see you, Sherry. Who's having bingo? You're talking about bingo, but I don't know whose bingo we're talking about. And to all of you who are lurking, hi. I'm so glad you're here, and thank you. I see you, and I appreciate you too. And to anyone who's watching this on replay, thank you so very much. It means the world to me that you come and spend time with me. I like hanging out with you guys too. Jessica SMC is having bingo. Okay. John at Hooks, Whips, and Chains. Okay. Co-streaming with Jessica. Got it. By the time I finish mine, I usually am like, I'm just really, really tired this week. It's just been a lot. It's been a lot. So Monday I go for my appointment, and then Wednesday Dad has surgery, and I don't know whether they will keep him overnight. We'll have to wait and see. And then after that, I don't know. I just don't. So we shall see. And again, I'm not really talking about what's going on because that's his journey, not mine. Good night, Frozen. Tomorrow, I hope to be on over at my desk. We will do paper stuff. I've got some ideas. I got some happy planner stuff to show you. I don't know if I have too much else that's like new, but we'll do that stuff tomorrow. Going to Walmart, and I'm going to go get a ham and other things to do for Easter. So if I don't see anybody the rest of the weekend, y'all are busy with Easter and family and all the things, that is okay. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Easter to everyone. Happy Good Friday to you for today. I wish you all peace, joy, happiness. I wish you to feel better. Those of you that don't feel good, I wish you feeling better. And just try to find some joy in your day and have some fun in there somewhere, okay? Prayers to all that need them, hugs to all that need them, and I love y'all, okay? Good night and take care of yourselves, okay? All right, y'all. See you later.